questions you should have answers for before finalizing your test automation tech stack. Okay, and this is again, I think I have learned it from my experience, and that is something has been pretty relevant, that what type of product it is. When I say type of product, sometimes it can be very complex in nature, it can be very straightforward product, it can be a SaaS product, which most of it those, like software as a services, whether it is a PaaS product, whether it's a platform as a services. That also you should consider, before finalizing your automation tech stack. What is my product tech stack? So now, if it's again now becomes a more collaborative point, you should actually have conversation, to the engineering architects. You can have conversation from those decision makers. You should have a clear cut tech stack roadmap for your product that you are going to automate, so that you can complement it with basically the tool that is you are going to select. Now, for an example, traditionally we have seen a lot of applications those were built in Java and .NET, but now we have Angular, React JS onto the UI side, which are pretty popular UI technologies nowadays. And if you ask, like, any JS based UI, you are having a very popular options available in the market. Be it Playwright, be it Cypress. Those goes very well with any JS based UI application. So you should also ask, okay, what is going to be my product tech stack for the next 5 years, 2 years down the line, so that you can choose your automation tech stack now. So down the line, if that change is going to happen, you still should be good. You will not have to change your automation tool, neither the scripting technology. That is something you should be pretty sure of. What is my products technology roadmap? That is again the basically subset of it, and you should have pretty solid answer for it. Will I need API automation? So why I'm talking about this specific point is that your entire automation tech stack I've talked about is that you should have solution, one stop solution for all your automation needs. So you should also go back and check, okay, will I need API automation? So whatever tech stack I'm evaluating, the framework I'm talking about, will it also suffice my UI automation need? Will it also suffice my API automation needs? Is my product responsive in nature, or does it have a native mobile apps? So now your product might be responsive in nature as of now, but down the line, say after a year, your product team thinks, okay, now we are going to also have a dedicated native mobile apps. So you should also think about, hey, you know what, whether my existing tech stack what I have selected, does it also supports my native mobile apps across iOS or Android? Can I integrate with some kind of a test runner on clouds? I think that will also give you visibility and also will impact on your decision. What is the skill level of our quality engineering organization? I think it's also takes it back to the training and development efforts. Now, imagine you're talking about a text. Let's take an example. Okay, if suppose you have thought, okay, Playwright with TypeScript would be a very suitable option for your organization's automation need. Then traditionally we see, okay, a lot of QA members come from a background of having a Java. Then how easily they can learn TypeScript, or for that matter any other language, say a JavaScript or something else, Python. So that is something, the skill level you also have to gauge, because as I told you, the training and development efforts are a pretty huge cost, and pretty huge extensive efforts that you have to actually invest within the quality engineering organization. What are my training and development efforts? That's again will be a result of the entire this activity. How seamless CI/CD part will be. So we have now dealing with a lot of microservices based application. Some of them are again monolithic application in nature. So how seamless? So when we actually want to unearth the actual benefit of our test automation, is that how we can actually integrate into part of our continuous integration and continuous deployment process. That is where the entire crux of it. You can have again your state of the art automation, you are having a lot of coverage, but if you're not leveraging that your coverage to keep an checks or having those quality gates in place into your entire CI/CD process, then it is not giving you that much of value. So that is where also you should pretty much evaluate how seamless it integrates with different tools. Does it suffice for all my reporting needs? So we have a lot of popular options. We have report portal.io, Allure is there, But sometimes again you have to see when we talk about, and again this is the one challenge, when we actually wanted to reflect a quality of a product or a project, it basically sits, okay, your manual testing efforts are basically coming out of a Jira, some other tool, ALM, Zephyr, and your automation tool basically, which are mostly open source in nature, you are getting some of the reports in some other side, in Allure, or some in other way. Now you also have to think, okay, how I can actually reflect the quality, how I can actually reflect the entire piece together, whether it how I can get the confidence. Sometimes it happens, and it's really important is that nowadays people are working around the clock, right? We're having a Teams, we're having a Slack. uh, Gone are the days probably even people were using, okay, send out an email with the automation results. But how I can actually notify the teams onto the Teams channel, onto the Slack channel? Can I have my central portal developed where people can just hit and see the entire automation results over there? I think that is also where it will give you that required visibility. Your efforts basically are going to get appreciated, and people will also get to know, okay, these things are happening on the test automation side, and even the product people, the development people can take a help of the test automation to see what is the quality of code they are developing. So your reporting needs also becomes pretty important, and you also have to see how flexible it is if you wanted to tweak or customize your reporting part of it. Does it natively communicate with all communication tool, Slack or Teams? That is exactly I talked about, that you should also have the ability to notify and generate the action items or the failures to the respective group so that people can just take a necessary action on it. Do we have a good community support? Sometimes when we talk about popular options like Selenium, yes, it definitely has a huge community, and that also helps. If somebody is encountering some issues, you get a lot of help from the community. But sometimes you also tend to go for a tool, or maybe you have selected such a tool that it does not have the community support that good. Then it might be a struggle or a challenge, because if you hit some kind of a roadblock on the way through, then sometimes it leaves you on your own, and you actually have to retrofit or try to go ahead and look out for the other solutions that work around. So I think community support also is one of the parameter or question you should have answered for. Does it get frequent releases and version upgrades? Yes, we all have been through path that even we have seen how Selenium has progressed, or even say a new tool like Playwright or even Cypress. When they started, they had a different set of limitations with them. But if they are really releasing and fixing those things rapidly in nature, I think then all your issues and problems what you are encountering as of today will be taken care of. But unfortunately, you have ended up selecting a tool which is not having your frequent releases or version upgrades, then probably you are going to have your issues stuck around for a while. Whether it all required OS browsers, is it getting supported? So now, as we talked about ability of our test automation of having this execution across multiple environments, multiple platforms, that is where also you should have this particular point covered, whether it has ability to support all the OS, which can be your Windows, iOS, all the browsers, whether it can be a Safari, Edge, your Chrome. Does it have that ability to support all this? Will this tool be supported for long term, or is going to sunset soon? Just some time back, there was one of the popular cloud automation tool that was open for all. But the parent organization might take a stance, or company might take a stance, hey, you know what, it's there, but we are going to sunset its support soon, or we are not going to support this particular tool. Then it also kind of leave you in a midway. Then that can become a challenge for you, and then you also might have to look out for a newer options.